Hey everyone, it's Josh, and this is another installment of Surviving the Pavement, which is Surviving the Pavement is me telling the story of how I spent 10 years in and out of the streets as a homeless person. And I talk about how I survived there. In that time, I talk about things that happened during that time. I give survival tips for homelessness. I do all of that in my Surviving the Pavement series. So this is another installment of that. Did one earlier today. You should go check that out. But today's installment of Surviving the Pavement is going to be called My Sexual Assault Story. And this is something that happened in the early days of my homelessness. And I'll just get right into it. Um, you have to watch who you're going home with when you're homeless. Um, a lot of people will come up to you when they see you on a corner and offer you a place to stay. Would be it for a night, a week, a month, whatever it is. But there's a lot of people out there with not so good intentions. So, for that reason, it's best just not to go to people's houses. And I had to learn this the hard way. And this here was one of my first lessons. Um, okay, so go back to the early days of my homelessness. I was staying at this one homeless shelter for a week. Now, this homeless shelter was also a church. Excuse me, sorry. This homeless shelter was also a church. And, but it also had this, I don't know how to describe it, but like this fun center, this community center where people could come and shoot pool and play board games. And they had like a pool table and they had video games and all that. And people from the community could come. It was for the homeless people who stayed there, but it was also for people from the community who, I don't know, felt lonely, I guess, and wanted somewhere to hang out. So they would come down there and hang out and stuff. Um, so I remember how this happened. I don't remember all the details, but I'm going to try to tell you as much as I remember of this. Okay, so while I'm staying at the shelter, I'm shooting pool with this one dude who's like, uh, seems like a cool guy. He had glasses. And he watched wrestling just like I watch wrestling. I'm talking about WWE Pro Wrestling. And it happened to be a Monday night. And so after an hour or maybe even 2 hours of shooting pool with him, he asked me if I wanted to come over and watch wrestling that night. And he said I could crash there afterwards if I wanted to. I said, sure, man. It sounds great, man. And he's like, you don't have to pay me nothing. I'll order us pizza, blah, 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 right? I didn't think nothing of it because this guy, you would just never guess this guy would be up to anything nefarious. I mean, he's just the most unassuming looking dude. I mean, he just looks like your average, accountant type guy or something, right? But anyway, I go to his house and we're watching wrestling, and we watch the show, and we pretty basically have a good time watching the show. But it was after wrestling where I started to realize that he wanted to, do sexual things with me. And I decided I didn't want to do those things. I am a straight man, and nothing against gay people, but this just isn't my bag, right? Anyway, when I got up we were both kind of sitting on the couch, and he was kind of like inching closer to me. And I got up to try to leave. Now, when I got up, he got up and put his hands on my shoulders like this to try to press me back down again. And when he did that, I commenced to putting the hurting on him. I don't know how many times I hit him, but I hit him a lot. And I had him unconscious. And then I robbed him. And I didn't plan on robbing him, but it's just kind of what happened in the moment. Needed money anyway. This guy just tried to force himself on me sexually. So once I had him unconscious and I kind of knew it, I hit him a few more times, and then I flipped him over. I reached into his back pocket. I took his wallet, and he had, I remember this real clearly. I just don't remember the exact amount. It was either $63 or $83. It was one of those two things. Either $63 or $83. But I took the money out of his wallet. And I went and got myself a motel room. And, I just didn't feel right for days or even weeks after that. I wasn't like traumatized, like how some women get traumatized when they get sexually assaulted and they can't sleep and they're always shaking. It wasn't nothing like that. I could sleep at night. But I don't know how to explain it. It just didn't feel, I just didn't feel quite like right or quite like myself for probably like a good month after that. And I don't know how to put it into words. It was just like not a great feeling, right? Even though I overcame, like I said, I'm trying to put this into words that I don't know how to put it into words. But I didn't feel right after that. And after a couple of more experiences like that in the future, I just chose not to go to anybody's houses. So people would see me panhandling. People would offer me to come to their house. In my whole 10 years of homelessness, during those last 6 or 7 years, I very, very rarely ever even stepped foot in another person's house, much less slept over there. And that was by design. People tried other things with me. Like there was this one guy, he saw me in Eau Claire. This was like probably within a year after that last situation. And he pulls up on me, with the spill of like, I feel bad seeing you out here. You want to come and crash at my place for the night? It's like half a block away. And I'm like, sure. So I go to his house and I sit down and we're watching a TV show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're just kind of chatting. And at some point during this episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I asked this guy if I could use his bathroom. He said, yeah. I go into his bathroom. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting stories conflated here. I'm getting two different stories conflated here. But you know what? I'll continue this one because I haven't messed this one up yet. I come back out of his bathroom, and when he walks by me, he kind of runs his finger across my shoulder, like, after I sit back down, he runs his finger across my shoulder real gently like that. And as soon as he did that, I got up and I told him I got to go. And he's like, are you sure you just got here? I said, yes, I need my stuff. And my stuff was still in his car. But luckily, nothing happened with that. And he opened his car for me and let me grab my duffel bag and go back to where I was at. But there was another situation like that where I'd used someone's bathroom and we were watching a normal TV show. And when I came back out, there was gay porn playing on the TV. So, I mean, I didn't like going to people's houses because of too many experiences like that. So, but anyway, that's my sexual assault story. Like I said, it's probably not real sexual assault because nothing really sexual, like, he wasn't able to force anything sexual on me. But it's just another thing of how the streets are sometimes and how you've got to navigate stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't like going to people's houses. To this day, I don't really like going to other people's houses. I have to know you really, really well to even step foot in your house, right? Usually. For more than like 10, 20 minutes at a time. I just don't like being at other people's houses. I would much rather be outside under a bridge. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it comes from those experiences. It's not like I get flashbacks. It's just like, there's just a level of discomfort that I don't want to deal with when I'm in someone else's house. And it comes from these experiences. Anyway, that's all for today, and I will have more videos tomorrow. Uh, and if you like my work, if you support my work here on YouTube, I'm going to link my Venmo down below. Please show me some love if you like my work, and keep following my story with this Haverkamp landlord harassment situation, because I'm trying to raise money for a good lawyer for that situation. All right, thanks.